There's nothing better than a simple cammed small block 350. Let's see if we can get this old square body to sing a little bit on the road here. One of my favorite questions is, why do I choose to drive a 40-year-old square body over anything else new? We're gonna go over in this video. We'll go over some of the basics, the lowering kit, the motor swap we did on it and everything. And the main reason why I choose to drive this truck over anything else new. There's no better feeling than driving one of these trucks after 40 plus years of age. So we picked up this 1984 square body short bed probably about 2 years ago now. And it was a factory truck, pretty well kept from what I could tell. Had a 305, open rear 271, 273, whatever it is. Had a lockup turbo 350 transmission. We drove it up, took it to the C10 Fall Revival in 2024. Made it there like a champ, it was great. It was at that point I was like, you know what? I gotta fix some things on this truck. Gotta get it dialed in right. So I get a lot of people who ask me what kind of lowering kit's on the truck. The truck is sitting on a 4.6 drop. So on the front end, we went ahead and put Beltec lowering spindles, 3-inch. And then I went and used a 1-inch lowering spring for the front. The rear, nothing crazy, it's literally just an axle flip. So I should give it about a 6-inch drop in the back. The truck used to sit on squared 255, 60, 15 Coopers, like these Coupe Cobras. Once we reloaded the truck, I went ahead and started changing some other things. Transmission, we went ahead and removed that, sent it out, had it rebuilt. I actually now have a traditional turbo 350 non-lockup transmission. So in these 83, 84 and onward, GM started using a little bit of an electronically controlled transmission. It was trash. So you'd be driving first, second, third, and you could feel the converter engage, but it's meant to help fuel economy. It never worked, this piece of junk. Nothing crazy, it's got a little shift kit in it, so, and when you get on it, it's got some movement now, which I like. The first to second engagement, and then second to third hits real nice. Trying to get a little more power out of a 305 wasn't gonna work either. So, sat around with the idea of maybe taking the motor out, rebuilding it, but then got a bug and started getting on the old Facebook Marketplace, interwebs, and came across a smoking deal on a small block 350. Complete setup. Guy took it all out of a car. Was gonna do an LS motor swap in it, so swooped right in, got a nice 350, ended up getting it running, sounding good. And again, I bought this sight unseen for the most part, didn't know if it ran. I could tell it looked like it was clean. So we went ahead and got it running on a run stand, sounded great. Don't know anything on the cam, but it has a nice little hit to it. So we got the motor cleaned up, and then we dropped it in the truck, in this square body, in preps for the 2025 C10 Fall Revival, and then the OBX Truck Fest as well. So it was quite a rush toward the latter part of this year trying to get this truck dialed in. But man, I'll tell you what, there's no reason that you're gonna want to drive a new truck when you get one of these things in good shape. One of the last things we changed also, rear differential. This truck used to make a hell of a howling noise. And with an open rear, couldn't do any burnouts. 273 was a real highway gear, wanted a little bit more pickup. So we went ahead, removed the rear differential, sent it out for rebuild. Had an actual Eaton posi put in the back, 308 gears, and that's why we went ahead and at that point changed the tires. We're still running 255 60s up front, but on the back I went 275 60, so I get a little bit more height, just to help with the cruising, because we do drive this truck a lot. We actually got all that done, so we were gonna plan to take it to the Outer Banks for a truck show for the OBX Truck Fest, which was an amazing event, and this truck made it. The interior on this truck is maintained pretty much stock. Had a new dash pad put in it, replaced some of the trim on the over the glove box, new emblems. It's got a nice factory style bench seat that's been recovered. Steering wheel we went ahead and changed also. Got one of these nice billet Forever ones. Forever signatures, whatever they call them. Pretty happy with it. I like the smaller wheel, even though some days I do wish we put in a factory one. Trust me, I still have the factory wheel and I have contemplated putting it back in. But the interior on this truck, it's great. It's a heat only truck also, so less crap to break. Said and done, driving a 40-year-old truck, there's nothing wrong with it. Testament of time, man. These things are still on the road. You see them out there. They're comfortable. As long as you can find them in decent shape, there's tons of support out there to fix these trucks. Between LMC, US1 Industries, all the up, Holly's even got stuff, Brothers Trucks has stuff. You can get a square body truck and get it back in a decent running condition. Just get out there and enjoy them. Sure, crew cabs are great, this and that, but a regular single cab truck, manual windows, simple, no electronics, just works. It's so much more comfortable, easy to drive. This truck doesn't even really do that bad on fuel. Factory quadrijet carburetor, we're still getting between 12, maybe 13 miles a gallon on the highway, close to 9.5 to 10 on the city drive. And if you, keep your foot out the gas, she gets down, you know what I say? But having new trucks nowadays, unless you find the need for it, I'd say I'd still go drive me one of these. They keep going up in value also. Every day that goes by, it gets harder and harder to find a good quality square body. The RPO code printout is still on the driver's side wheel fender of the truck. So the exterior of this truck, it's a silver color. It's what it was factory, which is pretty cool. It'll get resprayed again because the hood's got spots and the roof that you can tell have been showing its age, 40 years plus. It's gonna happen. But keeping everything the way it's supposed to be, it works. Sure, we don't got cruise control. What do you need cruise control for when you got, VA power? You feel me? It's the noises. Old cars and trucks have the coolest noises. Something about a square body, double stack headlighted truck just sets it off right. And that's it right there. The only reason you're gonna want to keep sticking with one of these square bodies is body style, man. Can't go wrong. Many of us argue this is probably the prettiest years for these trucks, the squares. 67, 72 are awesome. Everybody loves a round eye, but something about a double stack headlight on a square body truck is where it's at. So comment down below if you guys want to know any more about this truck and you got any other questions about what the build process is, because I've got some ideas going in for 2026. Do we remotor swap it again? Do we go big block Chevrolet? Kind of in the back of my mind. Not gonna go LS, not happening in this truck. So if you guys are looking to see an LS swap, probably ain't gonna want to do that. Blow up the comments if you think you want to see that though. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than a simple cammed small block 350. Whew, gets good. Everybody says. It's not the fastest truck. It's a fun truck, man. It's got 308 gears, nothing crazy, simple small block Chevrolet. We can make it faster if we want, but I'll tell you what, we've driven this truck everywhere. We've driven it all the way to the C10 Fall Revival down in Denton, North Carolina. Then the biggest journey was we drove this truck all the way east to the Outer Banks of North Carolina in this same combo. And I'll tell you what, man, it runs absolutely flawless. I've got a lot of other projects going on right now. We've got the 86 G body. You're going to start seeing a lot of videos start coming out for that. We've got the 65 Ford 500 Custom, the AK Galaxy. Got a big block 460 in that one. That's going to be a fun hot rod. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. I appreciate every one of y'all that are on here. We're going to go ahead and put this thing to the wind. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, yeah.